Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how I replaced the front 4 speakers in my trusty Honda Element. The Element I have is a 2006, but I think the parts and procedures are pretty generic enough that these would work on almost any year. I'm going to break the video into 3 sections. The first section I'll describe the exact product I bought, the kit and the vendor I purchased them from. The second part will be I'll be changing, removing and replacing the front door mid-range speakers that are in the front door panels on the by the kick panel. I'm also changed the front tweeters. Those are the small 2-3 inch speakers that are embedded behind or into the roof pillars next to the windshields. That involved a little bit more work because I had to modify the existing bracket to make the new tweeters fit perfectly. It was a little bit of extra work, but man, I think it really paid off. It did a nice, almost professional kind of job. Okay, let's get started. I purchased my speaker kit from Crutchfield. I've been using them for decades in almost every vehicle that I've owned that I've upgraded the stereo. I've gone to Crutchfield. They're awesome. Their tech support is second to none. So in this case, I purchased the Hertz Uno K130. That's a set of 4 speakers. And the other items shown here on the Crutchfield invoice numbers that I'm showing, they selected. All you do is tell them your exact make, model, and year, and they figure out what items will work, plus any additional installation parts, adapters that come basically free, or at least it was free with the when I purchased mine kit, to make the job so much easier. And that's really the bonus you get with them. I can't speak highly enough of them. They've done great. I took it one step further and modified one of the brackets, as you'll see, for the tweeters. But this is the kit I bought, the whole kit and caboodle, $99, $99.99 plus sales tax. Now, I apologize. I wish I had had an unboxing experience to show the individual parts. I didn't think of making the video until after I had completed the job and threw away some of the materials. But you'll be seeing them throughout the video, so you won't be misled. Thanks. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to take out the old speaker. There's approximately 2 tabs right here. We'll show you after we take it off. That is where you start. Okay, start from that corner, literally a couple flips, and the rest of it peels right off. So here's the old speaker. You have 3 Phillips head screws. One at about 12 o'clock, 4:30, and about 7. And old Chick-a-chock, you squeeze the end there, boom. And here's the crappy one. We can see, pieces missing, disintegrated, so this will be a nice upgrade. Now this is what came with the Crutchfield kit. The speaker itself with 4 screw holes. This is the secret adapter bracket, 4 clips and 4 little screws. Now what I did was put this up against the speaker hole in the door that we just took out, and I wanted to know whether those 3 screw holes that came out were different or unique. And here I rotated these 3 holes, marked them with a little white marker at the points on this thing, and I'll turn it around 3 times. They're all identical. So in other words, you cannot, there's no top, down, left or right on this. And the proof on that is this is the old speaker that we took out of the car, and as you can see, no matter which way I turn it, 1, 2, 3, the holes line up. So we're in good shape. Now we need to turn our attention. So those are the 3 holes for the adapter. So now we do have to be careful on how we line up these other notches with the 4 holes in the speaker. So I'm just gonna, oh, and there it is. Okay, so if you twist it around enough, oh, bingo. Okay, so now we've got where we have holes visible to the 4 speakers. That's where we're going to put the screws and the clips. So I'm going to mark those with a little bit of a blue marker. Make that a white marker, and we'll just put a little dot there. Oh, wrong one. Try to do this with one hand. Okay, so that's our indicator. Good job. Okay, now using the clips, the instructions showed you put the speed clips on the perimeter, and then we'll use the screws to position it. So here's some detail. Here's a speed clip. There's a flat side and a curved side. The curved side or underbelly has the little notch in it which holds the screw thread. So the top side is the flat side going on top. So here, these were a little tight. I used a trick, put a screwdriver in there, placed it over boom. Okay. Yeah, little pass the creamer. Okay. Pretty cool. Okay. Now we're gonna have some that way. Do my slide again. Position. Okay, so go ahead and go. Come on. Get a hold there. Wait. Okay. Now, release there. Take my hand. Okay, cool beans. It is ready to install. Let's now go to the element door. There's a little notion inside here. Because it's a lot on here. So it's make creative. That check down. Then go left, right. Those black circles here. Hang on inside here. So, little stop. Carefully move the screw. We got it right in here. I'm just going to try to get that. That's pretty good. Hot. Okay. Don't do it. Board. On this. But, oh no, don't cut damage. And it's nice and snug. So again, here, on our items, pretty easy to, we're going to place these in first and then just push slightly. Boom. That's it. Obviously rinse and repeat on the other side. Okay, in this third and last section, I'm going to show you what I did to replace the front tweeters. I'm going to remove the pillar. I'm going to remove the assembly from behind the pillar. I'm going to punch out the old stock speaker. I'm then going to remount a portion of the bracket so that it is able to accept the new speaker. I'm going to epoxy the flange ring that came with the kit onto the speaker bracket. And once that's dried, I'm going to install the speaker in, the new speaker in, with a bit of silicone and a bit of glue. And then splice the wires from the old to the new and reinstall. So let's get started. But until such time I'm able to afford a cameraman or somebody to help me, it is what it is. But you're not here for the videography or the color comment. You're here for the information. I didn't know that slipped on, but now we just discovered that. Okay, so this is the bugger that we're left with. Save those screws. We will definitely need them. And make sure you don't lose them. Sometimes I put them back in there. That way you know exactly where they go. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is take off this bracket, this cover or faceplate. There we go. See, you can see it coming off, which is fine. We don't have to save this. So if you want to rip it off, go ahead. There we go. Okay, so that came off with these 3 clips. 1, 2, 3. It's trash. I'm going to take this off. You can manhandle that all you want, or be barbarian with it. That goes off. So now what do we got? So we're going to take this screw off. And then this glue, it's just stupid glue. Then we're going to snip that bugger off. That can go, as well as this little, whatever it is, capacitor transistor. So now we're left with these 3 items. I'm going to move to the vise on this. What we're going to try to do is punch this out. So what I'm doing is kind of opening my vise so there's something to punch on. Boom. Okay, this is what you want to see. This actually is 2 pieces, and this is the bracket we want. So now we're going to remount the middle here and make a nice opening for the speaker. Okay, what I've got here is the bracket and my trusty Dremel. I'm going to have on there a reaming bit for removing stock. Got it set to 6. And what I'm going to do is take out this inner ring here. I'm going to take out this and get it to that inner circle in there. That's all I'm doing. But I'll speed it up and show you how I do it. And then I'll switch to a sanding drum on the Dremel and smooth it out. So now we've got a sanding bit, and we're just going to round out, you know, those sharp edges that are there. Okay, you get the idea. What we want is a nice, you know, smooth reaming of that bracket. We'll show you what we do next. Oh, okay, so we have here our reamed out bracket, stock bracket. This is the upgraded tweeter, and this is the flange that came with the kit. This is the all-important. The objective here is that this fits, oh my gosh, so nicely, perfectly on top of that. And what we'll do next is epoxy that right to this bracket, because once that's done, this actually has some sort of taper fitting that this sucker fits in there very snugly. So we won't need anything, or maybe a little hot glue there to keep that in. So that's the next step. Okay, this is our epoxy. This is what I did. I got some syringe-based 2-part epoxy mix. So what I've set up ahead of time is what is going to be my clamping. Because once the epoxy is set, if you clamp it tight, so I've got my 2 clamps, I've got my 4 clamping presses, got my pieces, and I got a place to mix my epoxy plus a mixing stick. So let's get to it. Okay. So the next step is the wiring, and this is the wiring harness, you know, that we took off from the Element speaker. And the cool part makes it pretty simple. There's a black wire and a red wire that go into this harness connector, and lo and behold, the speaker we have has a red wire and a black wire. So, okay, this is what you want to do. You want to wire the existing harness that came out of the Element, which is up here to this splice, to the wire that came and attached to the speaker. Just simple electrical splice. Do not make the mistake I made was splicing it here thinking I didn't need extra wire, because you need this extra resistor as part of the wiring to the speaker to help protect it. So this is what it should look like when you're done. Okay, getting back to our epoxy. This was the mixing board, and the epoxy's thoroughly dried. So let's see what we came up with our sandwich here. Oh man, that is pretty sweet. So what we have here is this new flange is now extremely well adhered, and the net result is that this will go in there firmly, and then that will get positioned on there at the correct angle, height, etc. perfectly. And here, right. And after that, here. And for here. Okay. So yeah, I got some silicone, and I'm just gonna put a little bit around. This is some old stuff. Smooth it out here. My finger. Just another extra. Actually, this silicone by itself is probably ideal, because you can cut it away with a knife, and it's not going to affect the sound, and you know, easy enough to work with. There you go. So the details, these two grooves in here match up with here. You get those in there first. Then you hook up this to here, the adapter, and there's one hole right here. There it is. Okay. If you can back out on that pillar, that hole lines up with this on there. Again, hook up the adapter, put those two in there. Show the wiring there, lined up. Boom. Good as new. Then push on the rubber molding.